Brand new hoodie, and this is my first video with my Rebel gear. Also, got the Rebel t-shirt going on. Got the Rebel background for my watch. Yeah. This right here is for press valve fittings, I presume. Hey Google, turn off the water well. So I don't know if you can see all those bikes out there. That's about half of my bicycle arsenal. Those who've known me before my Ryobi addiction, my addiction since I was a young kid was road biking. I also have a bunch of mountain bikes too, but all I have time for today is just to see how long the battery lasts by pumping up the tires and all of those bikes out there. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 bikes that are out there, and just about every single one of them uses what's called a pressed valve. It's not a regular like a car tire. A regular car tire uses this type of mechanism, which is called a Schrader valve. And fortunately, the new USB Lithium Inflator came with a set of accessories here. Right here, which is right here, which will allow me to go ahead and pump up those special pressed valve tires on those high pressure road bikes. Also another thing, I actually read the manual, which I don't normally do, and it actually says you don't even need to use this. You can actually just use pump air straight through here by either screwing in the pressed valve adapter here at the top, or if you're going to pump up like a basketball or volleyball, you just screw this in here and you can just do it directly here. But I am going to go ahead and use this hose because bike spokes are going to be a little bit difficult for me to get in there. So here's your press the valve, and all you do is just place it inside here, screw it in gentle. This is plastic, by the way, so you don't want to force it. So just do it gentle and don't force it in there. When it's nice and snug, then you're good. So, what's my final outcome, in opinion, on this brand new USB lithium inflator here? Well, I gotta tell you, this thing is an absolute beast. I'm really, really surprised. Actually, my expectations were maybe a little lower than I was expected. My expectations were that this battery, since it's only a small little 4-volt, would probably pump up maybe 2 full tires and then the battery would die. Well, as you saw in my video, I pulled out a total of 10 bicycles. That's 20 tires in all. My first battery lasted 6, a total of 8 tires, 4 road bikes. Each of those tires I pumped up to 80 psi, so that's a lot of pressure, and then the battery died. The second battery I put in, I did a total of an additional 6 bikes. But 2 of those were mountain bikes, so they didn't require as much air. But I was able to finish all 10 bikes with 2 batteries, and the second battery actually had a little bit of energy left in it. Now, I do want to clear one thing up. At the very beginning of this video, I had mentioned that there are 2 different valve types that people are probably going to encounter. So this is the regular one that's called a Schrader valve, which goes on your car tire and some old bicycles and kids' bicycles. And then you have what's called a pressure valve, which you see on high-end bicycles, high-pressure tires, which require this extra fitting, which this does come with. Now, at the very beginning of the video, I told you needed to screw it on to the hose here. Well, that's incorrect. After actually trying it, the best way to do it is to actually screw this directly on the valve that's on the bicycle wheel. And then once you do that, then you clip the hose into it after this is attached to the bike, and then you just pop the hose on, and then you just go. So I just want to bring some clarity to that. The other thing is, I was real curious about is whether or not this thing would overheat. I was really surprised. I was expecting this thing to maybe overheat after 2 or 3 bicycles. It didn't overheat at all. As you saw in my video, I did 1 bike after the next one with no breaks in between, and it was perfect. It did not overheat at all. Nowhere on the motor itself. However, the hose overheated a bit. So the hose overheated up here in the metal part. It wasn't too bad, but I felt it. And also down here, the metal piece on the hose. So I thought, I wonder if that heat's being transferred over from this at all. So I actually unscrewed it and checked, and this was not heat. There was no hot heat or hot at all whatsoever at all. So it was just a hose. So anyhow, this is great because both of my passions, which is cycling and Ryobi, obviously, they both collided, and this is awesome. I have a lot of friends and acquaintances in the cycling world, and a lot that I've made here on the Rebels through the Ryobi community, and both these worlds collided, and I can't recommend this enough for you cyclists out there. And heck, I might deal one for each car and put it in a glove box. It's that tiny. You can do that. So enough rambling. I highly recommend it. Love it. It's great. Thanks for watching.